within the rank and file of the Lagos PDP to wrestle Lagos from the grips of the APC. Take a listen.
My party is prepared to wrestle the state from the APC, to wrestle power from the APC. That is not to say I as an individual is not fully prepared. I am fully prepared. For me to run the last time and I'm running again now should tell you that there is something that I have to offer. There are lots I have to offer to the good people of Lagos State, and that is why I'm throwing my hat into the ring again.
Bookmakers have said that there is a need for the PDP to field a stronger candidate for this governorship elections, and you are most likely to be facing a stiffer opposition and a fiercer rivalry. How do you see this playing out?
It's not a contest, it's not a wrestling contest. And it's not a boxing contest. All what matters in this contest is the capacity that you have to operate in that office. You see, I think we should start looking at public office in line with what people have done before. You know, it doesn't mean that you can be a very popular person. You may not have the capacity to even operate in that office. So, I mean, when Governor Fashola came on board, did he appear as somebody who was very, you don't need all that in determining who can perform. Performance has to do with the exposure that that individual has, his educational qualification, his experience, and his pedigree. What has he managed before?
Now, many analysts have said transportation is a major problem in Lagos State. What are your plans to ease the huge challenge of transportation in Lagos State?
How I think we can address these issues, or how I would want to address it, is to introduce a very efficient intermodal transportation system. The three means of transportation must be developed simultaneously, and they must run efficiently together. That is water transportation, rail, and road transportation. And let me tell you about water transportation. Lagos is lucky because it's a coastal state. Almost every part of Lagos is connected by water. All the government needs to do is to invest so much in building maritime infrastructure, put jetties everywhere, and concession these jetties to operators. People will move around seamlessly. The same thing with rail.
Now, with APC taking over most of the structures in Lagos State, how do you see the chances for the PDP when the push comes to shove?
In the past, it used to be the political class now struggling between themselves. I mean, the PDP trying to unseat the APC. But I can tell you that today, it is not about the political class again. It is about the people. It is about Lagosians. People in Lagos State are yearning for change. And I believe that they will go all out to effect that change. Just like what we saw in Ekiti. It's not about PDP or politicians now telling people that no, go this way. No. They have suffered enough. Their rights have been trampled upon. You have seen it. Why is the government now reversing most of the policies that have been in force for about 3-4 years? Because they are also gauging the mood of the people. And I will only take them serious if they reverse the Lekki toll fee. It's either they cancel it or they bring the money down to affordable price, maybe 50 naira for cars, 100 naira for jeeps. I mean, toll is something that you should pay without paying.
Now, do you have a better option should you become the next governor, apart from this huge toll fee?
The option I'm proposing is that tolling, you see, other places where they have tolled, in the first instance, you know, you have about 3 toll gates in one local government. That is just a local government. It's a local government. And where people have to pay 300 naira to pass through a toll, to pass through that road, the one linking Lekki to is it Osborn or where, Ikoyi or something. Then the other one, I don't think is justifiable. Government should look at that, bring down the price to something like 50 naira. It's a long-term thing. You are going to recover the money. I've not seen a copy of the agreement, but I heard it's going to be for 33 years. If it's going to be for 33 years, why must people pay through their nose?
Now, let's make some projections into the Lagos 2015 governorship elections. Bookmakers have also pointed out that the federal might, the presidency is in the favor of the Lagos PDP. So how far can the federal might take you when it comes to the Lagos 2015 governorship poll?
Well, don't forget that the federal government is controlled by PDP. So expectedly, the federal might is also supposed to be in favor of PDP. But that is not to say that government is going to, or the federal government is going to go out of its way to impose the PDP candidate on the people of Lagos State. No. It is going to be a choice that will be freely taken by Lagosians. It cannot work that way. And the federal might is not going to be used like that. The federal might that will be deployed is to ensure that people are free to cast their votes the way they want.
So what's your take on the forthcoming Lagos governorship poll? How do you think the voting pattern will turn out? Would it be falling on party lines or that of the candidate? Do send your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. We will go on a break now, and when we return, we will take a look at the preparations towards the forthcoming 2015 presidential primaries, the power plays and the intrigues. Join us again.
Don't be left in the dark. Be the first to know. Get the latest news and developing stories anytime, anywhere, on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com and click on the Channels TV logo. Channels Television, the news at your fingertips.
As we gradually move closer to the forthcoming presidential elections, which comes up next year, February 14, 2015 precisely, it was gathered that the National Executive Committee of the PDP has unanimously adopted President Goodluck Jonathan as the sole presidential candidate, thereby making the forthcoming December 6 presidential primaries and affirmation primaries, though it was gathered that the former president Olusegun Obasanjo was not present at the meeting where President Jonathan was endorsed. But bookmakers have said if the endorsement of President Jonathan sails through the primaries, it will be the first time the PDP will be having a presidential aspirant unopposed for the party ticket. Now let's see this report on how President Goodluck Jonathan was unanimously endorsed by the rank and file of the People's Democratic Party at the national level.
In attendance were the full complement of the PDP governors, state chairman of the party, members of the National Working Committee, and members of the Board of Trustees. President Jonathan's entrance signaled the beginning of proceedings. The Niger State Governor, Muazu Babangida, reenacted the decisions of the Governors Forum. What made his remark unique was the presence of the Governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, a confirmation of his support.
The governors, the PDP governors met yesterday and have decided to endorse Mr. President as the sole candidate for 2015 election.
Others queued in, the BOT members, women group, and the leadership of the National Assembly.
If there is a sitting president who is a performing president, it is a very sincere belief that he should be given a chance to do even better.
Former chairman of the party moved the motion, seconded by Chief Jim Nwobodo as articulated, while the current chairman puts it to vote.
Those that support the motion as proposed and seconded, may you say aye, please. For those that do not support the motion, may I hear them say nay? Where are they? Well, the ayes have it.
In what looks like an acceptance speech, President Jonathan told his party men that he will not disappoint them.
I am so overwhelmed that I lack words to express my mind. I will reserve that to an appropriate date that will come. But for today, I can only promise members of our party, members of NEC, and members of our party, and indeed our country, that just like the saying that who more is given, more is expected, for you to have that kind of confidence in me is a big challenge, extremely big challenge.
Nigerians will be watching to see if there will be any change in the decisions, as the president is yet to make a public declaration of his intentions. For now, he seems to have given a nod to the decision of his party men.
Channels TV also recently had a chat with the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, John Oyegun. It says the APC is set on track for a credible primaries based on core democratic principle. Take a listen.
The APC constitution does not provide for zoning. I have publicly said that every member of the APC who has such ambitions from whatever part of the country to be president has the right to apply, has the right to contest, has the right to vie. As I'm sitting with you now, I do not know whether the presidential candidate will be Christian, Muslim, or pagan. We are going to insist fully on internal democracy.
Please send your comments on the adoption of President Goodluck Jonathan as the sole presidential candidate for the People's Democratic Party. Do send your comments on our different social media platforms shown on your screen. Welcome back, and here's our political roundup for the week.
The national chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Tahiru Jega, insists elections would hold in northeast states in spite of the dreaded insurgency threat. The Afenifere Renewal Group calls for devolution of power to avert Nigeria's disintegration.
And that's all in this week's episode of Roadmap 2015 on Channels Television. Don't forget to send your comments to our different social media platforms shown on your screen. Many thanks for watching. Join us next week for another exciting episode of Roadmap 2015 on Channels Television. I'm Binga Ashiru. Goodbye.